but I had posted a story of me at a restaurant, and then she responded to the story, "Oh my God, I love that place. What's your favorite appetizer there?" Mine's the calamari, which I think is just such a perfect. It opens the door to be like, "Would you like to go there sometime?"
Yeah,
Let's have, you know what I mean?
You're like, my favorite appetizer is that. Let's go. And I'm hungry again.
Welcome to Foster the Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Foster the Podcast, the official podcast of comedian Justin Foster and professional life coach Kristie Marie. I have this for you, by the way. We have a great guest today. Lara Beitz is here, everybody.
Thank you for having me. Can I just say how funny it is that as we started, you gave me that? That's like what you would do with a little kid who you wanted to be quiet during something. It's like, okay, we're in church. Here's your piece of chocolate.
If you could not speak during my intro, you can get a LaCroix. Well, you came in with two other water. I was like excited. I had like 4 to choose from. I was like, I think Lara's going to want the mojito.
I do. I love that one. It somehow tastes like Coke to me.
Like Coca-Cola? Oh, right. Yeah.
I didn't want to say Coca-Cola because who says it, but
it is a psycho
Just
way to say it.
Yeah.
What if you ordered at a restaurant? I'll have a number 3 and a Coca-Cola, please. I mean,
Yeah.
so weird.
They'd be like, we weren't going to give you cocaine. If you didn't have to say its last name.
Sorry, I'm sober. Can I get a Coca-Cola, please?
You need to talk to Danny in the back about that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, thank you for coming on and being on the show. We were very excited to have you. Kristie called me today. Kristie calls me every morning that we film an episode, and we say, Happy Foster the Podcast Day.
We do. It's a celebration.
Yeah.
I love it.
We were gone so long, so we're grateful to be doing it. She dyed her hair green for today, and she called me. She goes, "Am I too old to be dyeing my grays green?" And I was like,
It's not what I said.
Absolutely not.
What I said is there's a hint of midlife crisis when I have to cover up my gray hairs with like a vibrant green color.
so
It makes
funny.
me feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would do it if I
to give
could.
it up.
Somebody the other day told me I should grow my hair out to see what it looks like, and I was like, I don't think you want to see that.
I can see from here what it would look
During the pandemic, I didn't shave for like 6 months just to see, and it was, you saw it.
Yeah,
I sent her a
wasn't
video. I look like
my
Krusty
favorite.
the Clown. It's not pretty.
It wasn't
like.
great.
Dude, there were some people who didn't shave during the pandemic who grew hair and facial hair that was to the point that it like made me mad. Like I'm like, you have to fix your beard.
You're mad at a global pandemic because of what they've chose to do with their hair.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Fix it.
My husband grew this beard, and now like a whole corner of our bathroom is filled with like beard oils and beard combs. There's like all the
That's like his
stuff
thing.
that goes. Yeah, it became
Yeah.
his thing. He became a beard guy.
Yeah, beard oil on other people's faces has made me break out before to where I've been like, this smells really good and I need you to stop using it or I'll be ugly for the rest of the time.
Oh, you
we're
get like
together.
hives or something?
No, I get acne.
Oh, acne. Oh, yeah.
I get an acne beard.
Yeah.
I almost became, 2 days ago, the mustache guy. For some reason.
Oh,
I was just like, but then I remember that we had to film,
Yeah.
and I was like, that would be
Can't do
very
that.
jarring every episode. It's like beard, and then I'd have,
Was it straight out that you would have?
I had a vision in my head that was going to look really good, but then I was like,
Interesting.
it might not,
No.
and then
No.
it's going to be on camera forever. So,
Yeah, you don't need to do that. Those
Yeah,
always
alright.
look
Okay.
like jokes to me.
excuse me,
Those always look like jokes to me.
like the fake
Like,
mustaches.
yeah, a mustache always looks like something someone's doing to be funny.
Yeah.
For,
I
like,
kind
a
of
week.
was. I was just like, you ever just get
Yeah.
bored? You're
It's
like,
a
I
bit.
should just shave a mustache. Because why not?
Yeah.
You ever see the guys that are like, they like dye their beards like purple and green and stuff?
Yeah, or the Christmas glitter beards.
Yeah, that's too much.
I like that.
You like,
Yeah,
you're
it's
into it?
fun.
I don't know. If I showed up with a pink beard, I'd be like, all right, Justin, I need someone to have an intervention with me. But I wanted to talk about you for a second because I have a lot of, I hate saying regular friends, but people that aren't comics, right? What would you say? Normal?
Regular and normal
Regular,
are pretty much
yeah.
the same idea.
Yeah.
you know?
People who aren't in the biz and they like that I do.
It's the same word.
Right.
so.
It's the same word.
They like that I do comedy, so they'll share comedians with me. You know, the reels and the the Facebook videos.
Yeah.
And the number one person I get the most is you.
No way.
Yep. Yeah. You're the number one people. And I'm like, it just makes me feel so cool because like you and I talk pretty regularly, right?
Yeah.
So the other day, my friend sent me your LaCroix stand-up video.
Yeah.
3 people sent it to me, but my friend sent it to me. And I got to do the cool thing because it was like, she had messaged me your video, and then the second match was probably you, and then you were third. So I got to take a screenshot and be like, yeah, we were just talking to Lara today.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so you're the number one person I get.
I love that. That makes me feel so good. Can we say F-bombs on here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I have 2 things to say. Number 1,
Fuck those people.
I wish any of those motherfuckers would subscribe to my fucking Patreon so I can keep making it, dude. I started a Patreon. I'm making daily videos, 8 to 10 minutes. I'm wise. I'm funny. I'm wise. They're good. They're good.
And
I have 94.3 thousand Instagram followers.
Nice.
26.6 thousand TikTok followers.
nice.
I have 8 people have subscribed to my incredible Patreon. Daily videos. Daily videos.
You're doing too much.
It is taking so much time out of my life, and I have 8 subscribers.
8 people really appreciate
Doing
it.
it for those 8 people.
They
yeah.
do seem to like it.
Subscribe to Lara Beitz's Patreon, please.
Subscribe to these fucking nuts, dude. I'm so pissed. Subscribe to my shit. The link's in my bio. Please really do subscribe. I would love to have you. I'll remember your name forever. It'll make all the different. I will think about you. I think about them.
Yeah, because you
Thinking
know
about
all
Joey
8 of them.
right now. Who's
Yeah.
on my thing? Yes, I know all 8 of them.
Have you done the feet thing yet?
What does that mean?
What?
What? Isn't that people do on Patreon where they like post
No,
their feet?
sir.
No,
That
I
is
don't
not
know.
what people do
If-
on
I'm not on
Patreon.
Patreon.
If that's your thing. Yeah, but it's not an OnlyFans.
Oh,
Right.
that's that's what I was thinking
That
of.
is what
Yeah,
I
that's
No,
different. That's different.
OnlyFans is the sexual one. This is
This is like
not.
okay.
This is talking.
Yeah,
Got it.
Also,
under
my
no
second thing I
circumstances.
wanted to say is a guy recognized me in Target yesterday because you were talking about people sending you my
Mm-hmm.
clips. A guy recognized me in Target yesterday, and the way he said "excuse me," I thought he was going to ask me where something was, and I straight up looked at my shirt to see if I was wearing a red shirt.
Make sure you weren't in khakis.
Yeah. And then he was like, "Are you a comedian?" And I was like, "Yeah, I look shittier than I've ever looked in my life. Please
Right.
don't look."
Did he
at
ask
me.
for a photo?
Don't tell anyone about this. No, he just gave me a compliment, but he talked to me for a long time.
Right,
And
right,
I was
right.
like, "You don't know how degrading this is for me. Like, it's really nice."
Well, now you're getting famous. You got to like doll up. Now you got to go to Target. You got to put lipstick on. Did you tell him to subscribe to your Patreon?
I was so close to telling him to subscribe to my Patreon. It's how I've responded to. I get a lot of DMs, and it's how I've been responding to all my DMs. I'm like, you know what you would love if you like that show is my Patreon.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Like hell, you fucking will.
Yeah. Dana Moon said that her mom sent her my video clip. I had a clip that did like 3 million, and Dana Moon's mom got it and sent it to Dana. So
Nice.
we're all just passing it around here.
Cute.
So I have a funny story I want to tell, by the way, before we get into it, because I want to talk about what you were talking about before the mics came on about dudes, which is funny. But I do have to tell a really funny story about performing comedy in sobriety, not drinking and doing drugs. I did a show, and I figured you two would appreciate this. I was working with a headliner, and it was just he had been banned from this club, and I don't want to say his name, but he had been banned from this club because he had gotten too messed up the last time he was there, and got fired in between first show and second show, and it was a whole thing. Wasn't invited back. Got sober, made his amends to the booker. He's back, and it's his first weekend back, and it's like Thursday's on fire, Friday's on fire, second show or Saturday first show, crushed. It's great. Owner comes back in. I'm so glad to have you guys here. This is such a beautiful thing. Like you're doing great. You're doing great. Like it's such a great weekend. Thank you guys. Right? Leaves. And then the headliner's looking at me. I was like, man, this is like just such a beautiful moment. He's like, it was this time between the first show and the second show that I had a complete meltdown and got fired. And it's just so great not to live like that anymore. And I swear to God, as he said that, the door to the green room opened and a woman walked in and goes, oh, is this a green room? Cool. And pulls out a bag of blow from her bra and starts doing this in the green room.
Yes, indeed.
And
Yes,
he's
indeed
just
that.
like looking at, and I'm like,
Did I summon her?
and it took me a second to realize what was going on, and I had to be like, no, and then like push her out
Yeah.
and
Right.
shut the door and like lock her out. And then we're just looking at each other like, what was that?
She's like, it was okay last time.
Right. But then he's looking at me, he's like, where was she when I was using? Like, no one showed up with free drugs.
She's like, you begged me to come in here with blow last time.
It was the craziest thing. Like, there was like 9 doors. She just picked a door and was like, oh, this is the one. It's like, okay, cool. You guys will be
Down.
wow.
Pick the wrong door, girl.
Wrong door.
Wrong door.
I was like, do-do-do-do-do-do, and like shove her out. Like, get out of here. I was like, was that the owner? Did he send her? Like, who sent that lady in here?
What a great punctuation to such a touching moment.
So, I mean, as soon as he was like, man, life is like, I'm like really grateful. Life is beautiful. Here comes Satan with a bag of blood. It's like, whoa. But that's, we were joking about like how sad her going to the bathroom alone would be to do it by herself. We're like, Jesus, like I just got kicked out of the comics just kicked me out. Yeah, it was crazy. But I was like, dude, I was ready to you know what I mean? You know, like when the mayor is about to, and you jump it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna take a straw and be like, no.
That's not
I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I do want to talk about what we were talking about before, because you were like perturbed that guys don't, because this is a relationship show. We're gonna get into that, but you were like, why don't guys talk more about stuff, right?
Yeah.
That was Laura was so annoyed that women will
Talk to each other.
And then guys
Right.
will go like 3 hours without knowing that someone's mom had just died.
If they're in a room together, like a group of dudes in a room together, nothing's gonna come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Or one-on-one, like close friends. Like I'll ask, like, oh, hey, do you know if like those people are still together? And he's just like, no, I didn't ask.
None of my business.
As if I had asked, like, did you guys have sex? I'm like, no. Or like, a guy will go out of town and he's like, oh yeah, he's out of town. He's visiting like his wife's family. And I'm like, oh, where does his wife's family live? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, dude, I'm not asking you to kiss him. How did you get through that conversation without asking? That's the polite follow-up question. They just don't know this shit about each other. It's crazy.
One of my best friends had a kid, and my mom was like, what did he name her? I was like, I don't know, man.
What's your problem? What's your problem? What's all of your problems? What's crazy to me is that you all talk to me about your shit. Men talk to women about their shit. I know so much about you and what you've been through in the past 8 months. Mm-hmm. I know and this other person, like, I know all about his stuff too from when we were friends. Mm-hmm. Like,
and then when him and I hang out,
to me. You've both openly talked to me about all your stuff the entire time that I've known both of you. And then I'm like, oh, the two of you who have known each other. How long have you guys known each other?
a long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
And you both would be like, I don't know. I didn't ask. And I'm like, I know all of his shit. How do you not know all of his shit?
Do men walk around holding it all in, and then
look at Mike.
Then the moment there's like a trusted female around, you just vomit all the information on them?
I think so.
Is that how it goes?
Well, I thought it was because I was a Cancer, and that's like a big Cancer thing.
Okay.
What I was reading is like having the female, like we have a lot of female friends, and but I didn't know it was like a lot of dudes were also like, certainly the person you're referring to is like that. I'm like that. I don't know if a lot of guys. Isaac, are you like that? Do you have like females that you confide in?
Yeah, I just dump it all on my girlfriend.
Okay, so you have your girlfriend that you dump. Yeah. So I guess because I'm not gonna. I have a couple of dudes that know, that I get into it with. Yeah, but like if I'm hanging out with the boys, I don't want to like bum people out or like ask questions that's gonna bum them out. We just keep it. I don't know. I think guys just keep it pushing.
Where is your wife from? Is not bumming anybody.
Yeah.
That's not
what's
a
your
downer.
daughter's name?
And
What's
he
your
said,
daughter's name
the
is
friend
not.
said, we're going to visit my wife's
She's
family.
like-
Oh, where? That's it. That's it. Where? Where is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's
Yeah.
like guys don't, because we get in, like we talk about stuff. Like we don't. It's not like we're just like, hey, how's the game, and we sit in silence for an hour. Like there's never like dead air. But for some reason we don't get too deep, I guess.
Yeah.
There's also something about like being sorry to just drop this on you, but there's something about being perceived as too interested in your buddy's female companion. Like, where's she from? Like, you don't want that. You start getting ragged on that.
Yeah, there is that too of like, like that's your lady. I'm not gonna like. Why are you asking about my lady so much? There is that a little bit, I guess.
Like what she named her daughter or what
Yeah,
state you're
Right,
going
that
to
doesn't sound
her
like you're
in.
trying to
Right.
fuck her. He's
Right.
asking you where you're going on your trip. He doesn't know if you're going an hour away or taking a plane across the country.
I like all the straws that you guys are grasping at. I truly do.
We're
But
trying to make it make
I
sense.
don't think any of
Nah,
it makes
I don't either.
sense.
So crazy.
But I have a surprisingly high number of guys who call me and we talk, we talk about intimate stuff and whatever. But yeah, I guess that situation when me and him and I went out, we just didn't get too deep.
It's not surprising that you have a lot of men who call you because you have your thing. And I think that that's why when people get into a thing, like a group, and I don't know if you, but I think that when people get into a place where it is safe to talk to other men, that's why they cry for the first 90 days that they're there.
Yeah.
Because they finally get to talk about stuff.
I still cry all the time. I cry in front of dudes all the time. I'm a big cry guy. You know this. I cry all the time.
I
We went
did
and
not know that.
Yeah, we went and saw Smash Your Pumpkins the other night. And I cried for like an hour straight.
I'm just upset that I've never seen you cry. That's different. That's like crying because your football team won.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I don't care. Like, I'll like talk to dudes and like I'll get whatever. Like, I'm not like push it all down. But I just feel comfortable. There's some women I feel comfortable, talking to you. Like, I don't know.
Is it weird that I get offended that a guy will cry in front of other people and not cry in front of me? Not offended, but it's a part
It's
of
like
me where
the-
I'm like, I want to see you cry.
Right.
Cry in front of me,
It's
dude.
like the
I'll make 'em
emotional
cry.
version of like
You want me to make 'em
she'll
cry
make me.
right
Yeah, she
now?
could do it.
Kind of.
She could. Yeah, she could. But it's funny because people know, Kristie and I have been friends for a long time. There was a situation. Was it my brother? Yeah, it was my brother. Okay, so I met this woman. This is a while back, but I met this woman at a wedding. And we had like this really cool connection, and we had like this really, really great weekend. It was like, it was like nice. And she lives in Austin, and so it was like this, like we just had like this really cool connection. And at the end of the wedding, it was like a 3-day wedding. It was like a camping wedding. And at the end of the wedding, she like gave me her number. And she asked me for mine. I gave her my number. And then she texted me, hey, it was really nice meeting you. Great, it was great connecting with you this weekend, and And I texted her back, and then she just didn't respond, right? And I was like, "Oh, this is crazy." I was like, "She just didn't it was weird." And like 2 days went by, like she didn't respond. And I remember with my brother, and I was like, I don't know, like we had like it was like very like this weekend was like really, And then my brother's like, "Hey man, call Kristie." His first day, he's like, "I don't want to tell you, dude. Call Kristie." And I was like, oh, put her on speakerphone. So people know that, like, whenever there's, like, because my brother's like, I don't know what to, because my brother's like, you should just text her. My brother and his wife were like, you should text her again. And I was like, I'll die before I double text.
What did your text say is what I'm dying to know.
It was.
Was it like, fuck you, bitch? Like that?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
makes a difference.
It was subscribe to my Patreon.
I want to go on record that in my opinion, the story he just told was not the way that it went down as he was telling it
What do
to
you
me
mean?
in real life. What I heard you tell me when it was all going down was that you gave her your number, she reached out to you,
Yes.
seemed really excited, you guys texted back and forth, and then there was a 24-hour period where he said something to her and then the conversation lulled.
Okay. So what?
No, there was no so what. It was just like, all right, cool. I was like, it was I think it was the second text that I had sent that there was no response. And that's when my brother's wife like, well, you should text her again and say, hey, how's your day going? I was like, you'll bury me before I ever do that. I will never double text, right? Even if it's like, I just won't do it. And then that's when he was like, I don't know, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You got to call Kristie. And then you were like, yeah, double text, which I don't know. I'm not a double. How do you feel about double texting?
I would have to see the conversation. I'm not against it on principle. I'm very against quintuple texting.
Yeah.
Like, I think there is a point when it's like, take the hint.
Right.
But I think that to be like, I will never text twice in a row on principle. It's like, well, get over yourself and see if
That's
there's
what she
something
said.
there. And then watch for patterns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If the person's not interested, you'll pick up on the person not being interested.
Sure.
Right.
I think that a lot of that is like, and there's no offense, it's all of us, but like, ego, fear of rejection, where it's like,
Yeah.
if you get rejected, it's not the end of the world.
Totally. And that's what I'm trying to get over, because I'm like, I'd rather never speak to a person again before I double text.
Then
and
have them
it
be
looks
like,
stupid.
oh, I didn't like him.
Right.
Which
Or-
they didn't anyway if they didn't
Sure.
want
And
to
then
talk to
Chris,
you.
like, you should just double, you should double
I was
text.
like, we're in our 40s. Like,
Yeah.
texting rules don't apply to us.
No.
We're all very
Yeah.
old, and we should just text if we want to text.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
And then I hung up the phone with Kristie, and like 5 minutes later, she texted back, which
Well,
was
you
like,
also don't know what people are thinking. Like, I got the advice once to respond to every other text. So you don't know what kind of games people are playing. And, like, should we play
Interesting.
games?
No.
But people do.
people do. Yeah.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I said, she doesn't know if
She's
you
more-
like her either.
Yeah, she might want you to chase her a little bit.
Yeah, I'm bad about that, though. I'm bad about,
Yep.
like, I'll put myself out there to a certain extent, but I'm so afraid of putting myself too out there because I don't want to look stupid
Yeah.
or needy. Or I err on the side of, like, I'll never see you again. You could be like my soulmate, and I will never see you again before I make myself look needy or clingy or like thirsty.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm sure I should split the difference somehow.
Yeah.
But I'm just so bad about it.
Because it's that ego that makes, whenever like you're dating or in any situation where you're vulnerable, you only think about your side of it, and you never think about, like you said, what the other person's thinking or what they've been taught or what their past dating stuff has looked like. Maybe they had someone who called them clingy, so now they're gonna really play it cool. Like, you just never know. Maybe they're interpreting what you're doing as being standoffish. Like, you never know what's going on in the other side.
Yeah, well, and I would also be really interested to know, like, what the texts were. Like, I would be interested to see, like, what was your last text? Because if it was a short answer to a long thing, yeah, I would be like, oh,
No, it
no,
was good.
he's not
No,
interested.
I'm a good
and I
texter.
wouldn't
No, I'm a
respond.
good texter. And there was like a question. It was like, there's always plot lines to grab and stories to like play off of. I always give them that, you
Yeah.
know. And she just got busy with work, you know.
Yeah.
She was like a therapist getting her master. Like, she had stuff going on, but I was like, it's just weird that it's like bang, 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 and then 48 hours. I was like, it's just so weird. And then I talked, and then she texted back, you know, whatever. It's all fine, but I was just like, I want to get over that second text of, because here's the thing, and it's circle back to what we were talking about of like having female friends. It's like you hear women be like, he can't take a hint, he's so thirsty, he texts me all. You're like, I don't want to ever be that dude.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, I'll see you never, I guess.
I think that it's okay to wait 48 hours before you do double text. But as I'm thinking about it, it's like, when I'm really busy with stuff, if then I see a thing, but if it's a thing from a guy I like, I'm not going to care, even if I'm busy, you know?
Like, you'll respond?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like, I might not respond in 48 hours. I kind of was going back on what I was saying, because what I started to say is, like, I think it's okay to wait 48 hours, because if she is busy, she doesn't want a bunch of texts that are like, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Why
Yeah.
haven't you whatever? Which never say why haven't you whatever.
Right.
Never. Oh my
Never.
God. You can bury me at sea.
But if that's the vibe.
Did you get my last text?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'll light myself on fire
Right.
before I ever send something like
Right.
that. Are you okay? I'm just concerned.
Yeah.
Die.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or
It
just
all
a
worked out.
question mark. Oh my God. Just a question mark after the.
They didn't even
Hello?
respond. They just question marked the last text that they sent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sent a
That's
question mark.
That's a red
yeah,
flag for
that's a red
sure.
flag.
Big time.
Have you had that?
Yeah.
Oh, like, how dare you not respond to me in an
Yeah.
order?
I've had it all. I've had guys where it was like really fast, never met, never even went out on a date, and then this was back like when I used dating apps, and just the desperation is so downright scary. It's like, it's not that I think the guy's gonna kill me, but my body is like, this is so off. Like, it activates those like avoid it
Yeah.
instincts,
Right.
you know, where it's like, hey, can you just tell me what I did wrong, so if it's something I can try to fix in the future? I'm like, this.
Yeah. Everything you're
This.
doing.
Yeah, I don't owe you a fucking explanation.
Yeah,
We've
right.
never talked, but it's this.
I'm not your dating coach.
You taking this personally, you thinking that there's something wrong with you because someone doesn't want to date you who you don't know?
Right.
Like, grow up.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like you said, I'm just worried about you. I just want to make sure, like, no,
Right.
you're
I'm
not.
not your next of
No,
kin.
you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
And
You're
if
fine.
you are, you need help.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
not
you're
your
fine.
job.
I'll read about it
Worry.
somewhere if you didn't make it.
Ugh.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh. I was reading this online about which circles back to what we were talking about. There's the 5 myths of dating that I wanted to bring up for the show too. This is from the 5 myths of dating from Reddit. Not Reddit. Sorry, it was I think it was like Cosmo or something. One of those websites where they rank them.
Reddit or
Something.
Cosmo?
One of the two.
I love it.
One
One
of
of
the
the
two.
two. I forgot where I get my fake news
list-
from.
The list is going to be very different depending on where it came from.
Yeah. But I think it's interesting because number 1 is what we were talking about. Is number 5 is that the man has to make the first move, right? Which I like. I think that I'm of the school that if a woman is interested in you, like she'll make it very known, right? And I don't think that you have to do a lot of pursuing if a woman is actually into you. And there's this myth like, well, you've got to chase her and you've got to show
We
interest.
both
And I
got
don't,
so quiet.
I don't think that's true.
Because we've been socialized to ignore that and let the man make the first move
Right.
because of what you just said. Because if he's into you, he will. I think that the first move is a lot smaller than people give it credit for. The first move can be a smile.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first move can be 3 seconds of eye contact. Just something to let the person know that, like, you're available for them to be interested.
100%, 100%. And I think it's like this, like guys have to do all the work. Is like, yes, we do, but also like I think that if a woman like I'll give you an example because I was thinking about this when I read this article. What happened the other day was like I was doing a show and I met this woman after the show and she was very nice and she followed me on Instagram, right? And we had like nice banter after the show, but that was it, right? And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna, whatever. So, but I had posted a story of me at a restaurant and then she responded to the story. Oh my God, I love that place. What's your favorite appetizer there? Mine's the calamari, which I think is just such a perfect. It opens the
Cute.
it opens the door to be like,
Yeah,
would you like
ask
to go
me.
there
Yeah,
sometime?
yeah,
Let's have, you know what I mean? So I think it's those little things where the guy doesn't always have to be the, the sales lead, and I've got to follow up,
No.
and sometimes you just gotta.
You're like, my favorite appetizer is that pussy. Let's go. And I'm hungry again.
Why am I blocked? This is crazy.
What a bitch.
Right?
She's probably gay.
Tease.
Number 4, the number 4 myth of dating is every breakup has a good guy and a bad guy, which I think is interesting.
Who thinks that?
Cosmo or
A lot
Reddit?
of people think that.
I think
A lot of people
I
think
think
that.
that most stuff is like. I think what's best is to think of stuff as being about half and half, maybe 60-40, just in general.
60-40 is a good. Yeah,
Yeah.
60-40 is good.
Yeah.
I never think if like somebody breaks up and it's like it's 100%. I'm like, is it really 100%?
Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
There's not two sides of that.
Right. And
I
it can
do-
just not be your person.
Yeah.
That was just not your person.
Yeah. I do like the joke of like, you can tell whose fault it was by which person gets hotter after the breakup.
Like who has the glow up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
That
that's
is
the
kind
person
of
who
valid.
the relationship was bad for.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I saw that meme the other day. It was like if your ex glows up after the relationship, it was your fault.
It was your
Like,
fault.
There it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's better said.
Yep. Yeah.
Myth number 3 is you should wait to have sex, which I think is interesting.
That's the whole thing.
That's it.
Yeah, like you should
There's
wait.
no
the,
until
The myth is like you have to like.
just at all. The myth is that you should wait at all
yeah.
to have sex.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
I agree. I disagree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. You should wait for
We
some
both
amount of
had the
time.
same. We waited for you to finish the sentence.
it.
Until no,
Yeah, that's it.
okay, then yes, you should wait for some amount of time, right?
What do you think's a good amount of
till
time?
Dessert, is a good start. You know what I
10
mean?
dates exclusive.
10 dates exclusive.
10 dates, and you have made the decision to be exclusive. That's how long I wait. You can do whatever you want.
Hold on. 10 dates is 10 dates is fine, but 10 dates exclusive, like they can't sleep with anybody else before or after that.
Before we have sex. Yep.
10 dates where you have been exclusive the whole time.
No.
10 dates and you
where
decide
you're
to be
chilling
exclusive.
and you're seeing other people. Before having sex, I need to know that you're not going to be fucking other people. Because I'll lose my mind. That's not even judging anybody else.
Right.
That's not saying it's unhealthy. That's saying I'll be unhealthy if I think you are fucking other people. Like it's me or them. And you can be like, I'm not ready for that. Yeah. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to stop dating, but we're not going to have sex yet.
Yeah, but how do you bring that up? You're on date 8.
By not fucking them and saying what you need.
Right. But I'm saying if you're the guy, you're like, hey, I had sex with somebody. Do we need to start over? Do we need to start date 1 again?
No.
She's saying the opposite. She's saying she waits at least 10 dates and then they have to decide to be exclusive. Not we decide to be exclusive and then count 10 dates from there to have sex.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's more like we have to be exclusive, but I can't get exclusive with someone until we've had a minimum of 10 dates because I need to take the time to get to know the person.
I agree with that. And I think that's why I don't agree with that. It's like you don't have to wait to have sex.
And I think that's why I don't agree with that.
I don't think that.
Oh,
No,
you
this
that.
you don't have to wait to have sex. So it's like you can just like have sex on the first date. You can, of course, but it's like I like the emotional connection, like getting to know them. It's like I think it's like that's such a new way to think about things. It's like the old-fashioned way of like getting to know. So like you could just have sex with people. I think is like. You can.
You're right. You absolutely can, but I think that that's a separate thing from starting a relationship with someone.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Well, and that's not something where I'm like, that should be people's rule. Like, that's what I do because that's what works for me because I know that I emotionally attach through sex. Like, I know that I can get attached to people whether they're right or wrong for me. So I want to find out who you are first before I get attached to you.
Now, let me ask you this, though. You go on 10 dates, right? And you're like, all right, that's number 10. Are you ready? And they're like, no. Like, I still want to sleep with other people. Do you do more dates with them or is that it?
It's never happened.
That's good. That's great.
10 dates is a lot of dates to go on with someone that you're not interested in.
Yeah.
Do you guys fool around date 5?
For me, that is date.
Like date 6 is like hand stuff?
No, I think
I hate hand stuff.
No,
I don't like that.
It's pretty much date 10 because it's hard for me once we're there
to not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, date 5 we can do first. It's like so rigid. Like, date 5 is Applebee's and first base, and then.
I mean, fingering me is just. Let's just not. Why are we doing that? We're not in 8th grade. I'm not. No, thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, you agree with that policy?
I agree. I would
like,
say
I like a good fingering. I don't agree with that.
It's like, what, you want a hand job? Like, grow up. What better way to make yourself have sex before you're ready?
Yeah.
To be relegated to hand jobs.
Hey, could we trade this hand job up?
Oh, I'm ready to be exclusive.
Like, is there that much of a difference?
Yeah. Just some dry hand job. You know what? I would like to be exclusive.
I'm ready to stop sleeping with other people, if only for tonight.
I'm texting people right now.
Yeah, I might change my mind tomorrow.
Yeah, my cutoff would be when you know for a fact that you even if it wasn't verbally exclusive, for me it would be like I would have to know that I actually am interested in dating this person and they're actually interested in dating me.
Yeah, I like that. All right, number 2, and this is
What's yours, Justin?
What is mine?
Yeah.
I don't have a number on it, but I'm not. I don't know.
But she didn't have a number, but she has a boundary.
My boundary is.
You wait till the person will have sex with you?
Is she hot?
Justin said working on it.
I'm a work in progress. I'm definitely not a just a hook sleeping around anymore, fella. I'm like,
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good anymore, and I
Yeah.
have to have like an emotional connection and like get
Yeah.
to know them, and like even if it's like not leading anywhere, it's got to be like you have to have that uncomfortable conversation of like, okay, well then how long are we going to do it? How many times would you like, you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you're not looking for a relationship and I'm not like, how does this end, right?
Right.
And if it's like, well, it ends in flames with us hating each other, it's like, well then I don't want to do that.
Right. Also, are you lying to me about what you're okay with?
You know what I
Right?
mean? Yeah, exactly. So I think the more work that I've done on myself is like, I've had opportunities to just like have one night stands and it's just like it doesn't really appeal to me anymore. It's just
No.
too messy,
Yeah.
And I think the where I'm at right now in my life, and this is like protecting my peace and my serenity is more important than like 7 minutes of or 4 minutes of hooking up with some whatever.
Because I loved that you said 7 because that's so real.
Yeah.
And then I loved that you cut it to 4.
To
I'm not gonna.
That's a goddamn man right there, dude.
It's just not worth it.
Strong 4.
It's just not worth it. And there's power of saying no. There's power of being like, hey, I think you're very attractive. I'm just not looking like, thank you.
That is one thing that I liked when I like slowed down a lot, is being like, holy shit.
Yeah.
If a guy likes me, I can do whatever feels right to me. Like
Yeah.
they'll want me to be ready. They'll be okay with that.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. And if they're not, it's like, all right, see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened. Like I haven't felt pressure.
Yeah. I'm in a like a you gotta earn it phase right now. It's like you gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, which has been nice. Number 2, and this is you say this all the time. At a certain point, dating should lead to marriage. And Kristie says that all the time. Like you don't gotta marry everybody you date.
Oh, that's the myth. I totally lost track of what we're doing, and I thought that you were saying at a certain point dating should lead to marriage. Yeah, I completely disagree with that. I think that people should date because they enjoy the other person. I was actually listening to something about this that I listen to regularly before I came here, where it's like someone says like, I think good marriage vows would be, I like you pretty good, let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think that people should date the way that they go on vacation, where it's like plan a nice week, date for the week, and then eventually you'll meet someone where you want another week with them. And I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, it puts way too much pressure on you. It's Abraham Hicks. She's like, it puts way too much pressure on you and the other person to try to find someone where not only are they everything that you want now, but they will be everything that you want once you have all this information in the future that you couldn't possibly have now. And she's like, then you're looking at things and highlighting things that you don't like about the person and that the person doesn't like about themselves. And so they start not feeling good when they're with you because you're bringing out all of these, that you're reminding them of these parts of themselves that you don't like, that they don't like either,
Right.
that they had forgotten were parts of them.
Yeah.
Or painting the other person all their red flags green because you've been dating for 4 years and you don't want to start over, right? And so, well, I've been with this person for this long. We got to get married. So I need to mold this person or somehow change them into being the right person for me, instead of saying, you know what? Now, after all this time, we've changed in a bunch of ways and we have information, like you said, that we didn't at the beginning. Maybe we're not such a good match anymore, but I love you. This has been great, and I'll catch you later.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Best of luck to you. kind of
100%.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like that sunk cost fallacy. I talked about that the other day on my Patreon, to which I have 8 subscribers.
You
I
8
would love
people
a
heard
9th.
it.
Will you be my 9th? Could you be the 9th?
You might have 9 and 10 right here. So.
Yeah.
I hope that you're serious. And also that makes me sad for people to be giving money for charity. But it's good. Okay, this is neither here nor there. What did you say? And what was I going to say?
I was going to say myth number 1 of dating.
No, what was I going to say?
I don't know.
What was the
Painting
last
red
thing?
flags green, the pressure of making the person you're
Oh,
with.
the sunk cost fallacy. Talking about the sunk cost fallacy. Like, because I've put this much time into this, I have to stick with it.
Yes.
And it's like, no. And that's why, so the word that comes into my head is created. I created a problem in past relationships based on like marriage. Like, are you going to want that? And now I see what a waste that was. because it's like, is it good today? And then find out. And marriage is just less significant to me now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do I want that? For the security? Because the person could still leave you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Yep.
I agree. All right, number 1. Top 5 myths of dating. Number 1 is there's only one person out there for me. And that is, I don't know.
Gotta find that one person.
Gotta find this is my soulmate.
But they live close by.
Yeah.
That's magical thinking. And, you know, I was listening to Abraham Hicks today, and and she said, and I love, she's just like, there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of potential partners out there who would make you equally happy.
Yeah.
Just pick one and focus on the good parts and enjoy it. She's like, it would be like going to a restaurant and having a delicious meal and wondering what other delicious meals you could be having. What does it matter if you're having a delicious meal?
Right.
Is this one delicious enough?
Right. Is this
Right.
the
What
most
if
delicious?
one is
What about like seafood
Right.
and I'm eating steak?
Does this meal have a drinking problem? Or
The
whatever?
things that you're talking about are so universal.
Yeah.
Like everything you're saying about like the like sunk cost analysis and all of that, it goes for everything. It goes for jobs, it goes for friendships, it goes for relationships. Just because you grew up always wanting to be an astronaut and you get a degree and end up being an engineer that brings you to something else, it doesn't mean that you like gave up on this dream.
Right.
It just means that that was the path that led you to where you were going next. Being so focused on like, I always wanted this, so this has to be what I want forever is such a dangerous thing, because then you make yourself stay the same person. It's like who you were 10 years ago hopefully isn't the same person that you are today. Maybe the person today wants something a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was talking about on my Patreon is like people,
Oh, you have a Patreon?
I do. It's
Oh,
people
did you know that?
specifically like with comedy. Like people who are just like, I worked so hard, the plan was to make it, and they keep doing it and don't even ask themselves anymore if they enjoy it.
Do I like this?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's just like because people quit careers all the time, right? But there's the thing about like not doing comedy anymore. People like, you quit? Like there's like a shame. It's like people change professions all the time, but for some reason it's like looked down upon in comedy. Like you gave up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I think it's also like we get jealous when people leave us in the mud. Like they get out of the mud. You're like, come on, come back down here with me.
It's also like one profession where like I think you don't know what it's gonna be like until you have made it.
Mm-hmm.
Like until you've made so much progress in it that you are traveling all the time, you're on the road all the time, you're staying in hotels, you know.
Well, there's
And then you can
benchmarks.
find out you fucking hate
When
that.
when we first met, you were my host at Flappers Claremont. I was
Yeah.
headlining.
Yeah.
And now, you know, because of all the hard work and how funny, you know, your writing and dedication, you're a national touring headliner, right?
Thank you.
And because of how awful and lazy I've gotten, like I'm still I'm just kidding. But you were like you're like
Yeah, you
right?
tour too, but
I know,
yeah.
I'm just being self-deprecating, but that's a benchmark of like it was this, and then now it's that, right? So it's like this cool thing that you can look at. I do want to get to. Do you have a question for Kristie? Because we like our guests to bring in questions. Did we able to do that?
I have a problem.
Yes, we would like to help
Which we can turn into a question.
Yes.
How much time do I have? I sense urgency.
you. We have 10 minutes.
Okay, great.
We're gonna fix your life.
My thing is I have a really hard time relaxing and being comfortable, asking for what I want freely, and just generally being myself when I'm with my guy.
Ooh,
And so I have a hard time
that's a banger, dude.
recharging when I'm with him. And is that something that can be changed, or do we just like, what if we ever lived together? Like,
Ooh, that's good. I relate to that. I super relate to
or
that.
is it one thought I've had is like, is it because we don't that it's not? But I don't think so. And it's not like a bad feeling. It's not like I'm tense because I'm around him. It's like I want him to be happy, so I don't want to be irritable or say something that's annoying or be in his space in the wrong way. I want to be in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to be doing what he, I'm just thinking about him, and I think he's thinking about me. And so neither one of us can fully relax and recharge around the other one. Can we change that, or?
Yes. So the thing that you're describing is a thing that lives in your head, right? Like he's not putting these pressures on you, it's in your brain. So it is within your power to kind of shift it, but it has to be a belief shift. I talked to Justin about this a lot, that a lot of times when we have grown up or gone through relationships or whatever it is that has put us in a position where we feel like our worth is being of service or helping or holding things together and being like a grounding force for the people around us, that a lot of the times we bring that into relationships. And so if things are calm, or if we have to ask for, if we're being a burden to someone by like asking them not to do something or deal with our bad mood or whatever, we fear that no one's going to stick around, that people would rather leave than accommodate us or leave than show up for us and that type of thing. So it's really just that belief shift. And the only way to do it is by doing something that feels really uncomfortable and forcing yourself to do it with the other person, and then seeing that the right person is going to stick around.
Can we look at her face?
Yeah.
She's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like an
Just
example. What's an
thinking about
example?
it.
Like what can she do?
If you're in a bad mood, just verbalize that you're in a bit. Hey, sorry if I'm being weird today. I'm in a super bad mood. I just don't really feel like being, super upbeat. Can we just like rot on the couch together? You know what I mean? And just saying, this is how I feel. It isn't cute today. This is exactly how I want to act. Would you like to rot on the couch with me, or do you need to go to the beach today? You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Yeah. And just letting somebody, the more you slowly start to verbalize what it is that you need, people will show you if they're willing to show up. And there's a lot, just like you said with the other stuff, you'll find that people will give you what you already started with, like the I need to wait 10 dates, and you find that people don't care at all. They're more than happy to wait that. And I think this would be the same thing, but it is so uncomfortable because I was very much programmed that way as well.
Yeah. Me too.
My current husband would never believe it because everything I want and need just
that you call him your current
out of
husband.
my so that is my suggestion, is to pick something small that you're not going to feel so unsafe while you're doing it, but that is uncomfortable enough that you sort of have to push yourself to do it, and then just see how the other person responds.
And if he doesn't like it, tell him to call me. We can talk about it. Guy to guy, we can hash it out. Tell him I'm around.
And it might make him feel more comfortable too, that he's not trying to hold himself to your standard as well, of like, well, she's always in a good mood and everything seems like great all the time. And then if you're like, hey, I'm having a bad day, then he knows it's okay for him to have a bad day. And it makes everything just a little more like everyone can be more real and in their stuff when they need to be.
Yeah, because he'll feel bad for like being tired.
Yeah.
Just having a human body.
Yeah.
And feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah,
that's
thank you.
super. Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thanks. That's a great question.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Great suggestion.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. I love you so much, and I'm so glad.
I love you too.
Yeah.
I liked milking our time together.
Yeah. Will you please plug? Do you have a Patreon?
I have a Patreon. Please subscribe to it so I can keep doing it, because it's getting sad at this point, and I really want to do it. I put a lot of time and effort into it, and I think you'll enjoy it. Like, it's fucking good. That's what's pissing me off. I don't need to do this rant again.
Yeah. She's great.
Find me on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the show. That was our Isaac Abrams. Thank you for being the world's best producer. Kristie, thank you for being the world's best co-host. Find us. We're on Spotify, iTunes. Visit Foster the Podcast. Check it out on YouTube, The Justin Foster, and we'll see you later.
And I'm on Patreon.